What's going on, Bottom Line viewers? It's Mitch here, joined by Dilly Vanilli and our special guest for the day, Jake, thy young gun. Do you want to do your intro?
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's been a while. It's been like 3 months, so it's a little rusty, you know. And before that, it had been another 4 months. So let's see here. It's your boy, Jake, the young gun, thy producer. Grunk, spike the like button.
Ooh. So we have Jake here today as a special guest. He doesn't watch Raw regularly, so he can give us some of the casual perspective on the show. Tuning in for only 5 minutes until he said he wanted to kill himself. That's his exact quote. So we'll get into a little bit of that. This, of course, was a big episode of Raw. And, you know, this was supposed to be a shakeup episode. We had the Raw after Mania last week. We were at that show. Wasn't too impressed with the show. Didn't do a review of it. But I just thought that, like, again, WWE doing the classic, let's throw a wrestler out here without giving us any information or storyline or backstory about the wrestler whatsoever. Hey, this is the Revival. Wait, who's the Revival? So that's basically what I thought of Raw last week. Not a great show, kind of disappointing compared to Raw after Manias in the past. But this is the April 10th edition of Raw. And I was a little bit excited going into the show because of the shakeup. Basically, you know, on the surface, you're waiting to see who's going to be on Raw, who's going to be on SmackDown, and just seeing what they're going to try and do with both shows. The rumor coming into the show was that they were going to try and load up Raw as much as possible. And it basically seemed like they did that. I mean, at least until tomorrow, until we figure out who's going to be on SmackDown, Dylan. But like, it just seemed like they wanted to put all the big stars on Raw. Is that what you got from the show, Dylan?
Well, okay, I looked at the graphic here they gave us at the very end of the show, right? So Raw currently has 44 wrestlers and 10 women, and SmackDown currently has 21 wrestlers and 5 women. So I know there's still one more show to go, but they wanted to load Raw as much as possible, and some of it didn't even make any sense. Like, there's a couple of them that I can understand what they're going for, but then a big name that we'll talk about in a minute, it's like, batshit out of nowhere. Like, why are they on Raw? They've had this SmackDown build for months. Really confusing. I'm interested to see who SmackDown gets tomorrow. They better be some really big names because they loaded up on Raw. And that was kind of my worst, like, what's the word? Like, I thought this was going to happen, and I don't like it because SmackDown's a better show.
Like your worst nightmare?
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
All right. Well, we have some people in the chat. We have currently 7 people watching. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy it, you know, Grunk spike that like button, like Jake said at the very top. He didn't forget about that. We do have Arian. You know, Jay is in here. We got the WWE boy. We got Kevin. We got lots of people here. Arian, of course, starts off every chat by saying, die, Zayn, die. Fuck Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Thank you, Arian, for letting us know.
Let me talk to this boy for a minute.
I think you'll like Arian very much, Jake. I think you
Arian, you don't know who I am, probably, but I am an old friend of family member of the channel, and I fucking love you. You can be the best man at my wedding.
Okay. That's Jake's thoughts on Arian. Jay is in here. He said a few good moments, but the same old Raw.
Yep.
Arian also says they basically took everyone good from the SmackDown roster. WWE Boy says this Raw seemed like the same old shit last week's Raw was. Last week's Raw was pretty lit, he says, but this week's was just what the fuck. They didn't really promote the shakeup a whole lot. Also, they should have called it a draft. Kevin says, it was okay. Honestly, the biggest thing I took away from tonight is how unsafe of a worker Nia Jax is. I honestly did mark out when Strowman beat the hell out of Reigns. Thought it was smart. All right, so we'll get into all those things moving forward. We're going to start off with the opening segment, the opening WTF segment of the night. So we start off with Miz and Maryse as John Cena and Nikki Bella. Always gets me, you know, just popping because I love the Miz as John Cena. It's freaking hilarious. And Jake, if you have not seen this, go on YouTube, search up Miz as John Cena.
I've seen it.
It's hilarious. So we have Miz and Maryse come out, and Miz is the GOAT. He holds up his towel and he says, "Yeah, guys, it's a new towel. It's a new towel." It's pretty funny. And then Miz, like, just his facial expressions got it down pat. He gets in the ring. He says, "The champ is here." And he says, "We all know that rule number 1 of John Cena's house rules is that you can't chant Cena sucks." Then everybody chants Cena sucks. He says that at WrestleMania, it was his goal to get free publicity from his proposal at WrestleMania to Nikki Bella. And basically, they wanted to leave after WrestleMania to go to Hollywood. But Maryse says, as Nikki Bella, that Hollywood didn't want them. And John was really confused. And John's like, apparently they didn't want us. They say that we suck and we're not good actors. And it's something about being robotic. Then Dean Ambrose comes out and I'm like, what? Okay, so Dean Ambrose is out here. So we got both SmackDown superstars opening Raw and no explanation. No, hey, Miz is on, SmackDown. Ambrose is like, they started this show really wacky. And I don't think any like casual viewer would be able to follow what's going on. I could barely follow what's going on because it made no sense. It was basically like, okay, if you came out on the show, you were on the show. Like There was no like angle saying, okay, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. There was no Triple H, Stephanie, whatever. No authority member, like kind of scripting or like,
Mitch, can I
putting some guidelines on the show. Jake, what do you got to say?
All right, I want to clear this up because we talk about this a lot, or at least we used to. And from what I can tell, from what I've been keeping up with you guys talk about this too. There is such thing as good confusion, but that feeling of you don't understand the concept of what's going on is not the good kind of confusion. Good kind of confusion would have been like what you said, if they would have introduced it and then like someone pulls up in a limo outside and you're like, oh my God, who is that? That's good confusion. Good confusion is not understanding like the purpose of everything. There's a difference. I just wanted to clear that up because I could see some idiot in the comment going, oh, but you guys say it's good to confuse people.
Wait, it said something? Okay, let's see it.
Nobody said that. No, I didn't.
He said he imagined it.
I could see someone saying that.
Well, the bottom line viewers, Jake, I know that they may have been a little bit different back when you were here, but they've grown. And they've become smarter.
Are you? Wait, never mind. I'm not going to go there.
See, here in this segment, I'm like, what? So Miz comes out, and I'm like, okay, no introduction, just starts off Raw. Dean Ambrose comes out, and Cole's like, oh, we got Dean Ambrose on Raw. And I'm like, so how does this work? Like, does somebody...
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, how does this work?
Like, how does it work logistically and in reality? Like, do you just...
Not only that, Dylan, but the weirdest thing is how the announcers are doing it. Yeah. Like, they have these people come out, and then all of a sudden they're advertising stuff that's on the show. Like, they know what's going to happen. Like, apparently Roman Reigns is going to have a sit-down interview. Apparently there's going to be a match later. Yeah. Like, they know stuff that's going to happen, but they don't know that Ambrose and Miz are coming out. Like, this doesn't make sense.
Where's reality and where's where they want to put the stuff at? It was so stupid. Like, if you just do a draft, okay? Just do a draft. It's easy. People can understand it. Even if you don't want to do something as formulaic as that. Give me something to understand. But
Dylan, the thing that I didn't understand, but I thought that the trades and the shakeup was going to be all about the GMs. And we saw Angle like once or twice on the show. We saw Daniel Bryan 0 times on the show. We saw Shane 0 times. We saw Stephanie 0 times. I thought that the GMs on a football team make the trades.
Right.
Why aren't they making them the trades on TV? Why isn't this more realistic? Why is this just wrestlers showing up wherever they want?
Well, I have no idea. That's why we're confused on this first segment. Because they're like, I mean, Stephanie, it makes sense. She's injured in kayfabe. But like the rest of these people, they should be on television. It was supposed to be a 2-night event, right? So you would think SmackDown would be a little bit more focused on who's going to Raw and Raw focused on SmackDown. But no, we didn't get that. That's one of the biggest loopholes of this fucking night.
I just don't. Okay, like it's very simple, like you said. The beginning of the show, Angle should have came out and said, I saw the clip on YouTube a few weeks ago where Vince said we're going to do a shakeup. Was that the Mania Go Home show when he said that?
That was the last week, actually.
That was last. Okay. come out and say, okay, so last week, blah, 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 blah. So this is what's going to go down tonight. I've been making some moves. I've been on the phone, blah, 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 blah. Lay out the simple thing. And then, like, bam, out comes the Miz. And he's like, all right. So basically, you could have had Angle say something to the effect of, I wanted to go big or go home. So I went and grabbed a champion. Bam, out comes the Miz. And then you could have done the little limo gimmick with, like, Dean Ambrose or something later on in the show.
Yeah, you could have built to somebody coming out, but we never had any of that on this show, which is really strange.
Yeah. And I know Miz isn't a champion, but like he's like a
big time player.
Hollywood,
former WWE champion, blah 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 blah.
My concern already with Kurt Angle is that he's just gonna be this comedy guy. Like everything I've seen from him, like it was funny the first week of Raw, especially when you're there and seeing Angle back in WWE doing this comedy stuff with Enzo and Cass really works. By the way, repping Enzo and Cass today. They weren't on the show, so that's interesting. But Angle, like, it just seems like he's the make the match guy. Like, he doesn't do anything except make matches. That's basically all he's done so far. And I just want him to have more dimension. He deserves better. They screwed up Mick Foley. Don't screw up Kurt Angle, too. These are two legends. It's so hard to screw these guys up. And then, like, it's funny because people will look to the Attitude Era and be like, oh, that was so good because the wrestlers, right? Like they were so talented. But you look at Mick Foley, Kurt Angle today, if they're given crap, they're going to be okay with it because they're great, but it's still not going to be good because it's still crap at the end of the day. So
I have another question because we were talking about this before the show. Was Owens on tonight?
Yeah, he was. He was in the main event.
Okay, because I was about to say with WWE, I feel like with this, what they would do is like the people who are going to go to SmackDown wouldn't be on the show tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Owens was, which was weird.
Okay. But for the viewers, our guess is that Owens is going to go to SmackDown because he has the U.S. belt.
And Ambrose has the IC belt. That's kind of understandable, I guess.
Unless they're going to pull a Cena in 2011 where he gets back and forth between the two shows like 8 times in one night. You guys remember that?
Just constantly back and forth.
What date was that exactly, Jake?
I don't know. It was sometime it was like May of 2011, I think, something like that. And like Cena. Oh no. I think it. And I can't remember anyway. But like for those of you who don't know, Cena was on Raw. He got drafted to SmackDown, and then
I know what he's talking about. And then got drafted back to Raw on the same night.
Yes, after losing in the main event for Team SmackDown.
Arian says April 25th, 2011.
I was close.
Whoa!
Yeah, you guys.
Okay, so let's get back to the chat real quick. There's a lot of Sami Zayn heat. A lot of it. Kevin says, I'm actually surprised at the Zayn hate. I think he's solid in the ring, but he needs personality. But shit, so does half the roster. Somebody else says, I hate that Uber driver and that he won. And then Kevin said, Uber driver, laugh my ass off. Arian is mad that Sami Zayn beat a talent like The Miz. Also a comment, Zayn is an Uber driver that gives 2-star service.
2-star?
The WWE boy says, I really wish I could run the damn company for a while. Yeah. Don't we all, says Kevin. Yes, exactly.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
And I want to address the Sami Zayn stuff because who better than Jake the Young Gun to express the Sami Zayn heat. But for me, it just stems to you're a wrestler and like your job is to look good and your job is to look like a wrestler. And all it seems like he's cared about since he was a little guy looking up to all these wrestlers was to wrestle in the ring and not do anything else. If you want to be a star, you got to look like a star. That's Vince McMahon right there. And he just doesn't look like a wrestler to me. I grew up on the Attitude Era guys. I grew up on the Ruthless Aggression guys. None of them look like Sami Zayn. That's just, to me, he doesn't look like a wrestler to me, and I can't respect you until you put in the work to look like a star. And to me, that's just how I feel. I understand that some people may say, I like Sami Zayn because I can, he looks like me. So I like him like that, but that's not me. I like wrestlers that are larger than life. I like wrestlers that you can believe would beat the shit out of you. And Sami Zayn, He's not beating the shit out of anybody. He looks like my next door neighbor.
The next door neighbor. We
Jake,
need to get a next door neighbor interview. I'm just saying.
Okay, so yeah, everything Mitch just said is anything I could have said, but we came up with an idea before the show. You guys know how they have like the pile driver, they have the dreamer driver. You know, they have like all these moves with driver in the name. I told Mitch we should just call Sami Zayn's finisher the Uber driver from now on. So yeah, there's that. That one was for you, Arian. That one was for you, the Uber driver. No, like seriously though, like on a serious note, I know that's cheesy and horrible. It's supposed to be. I just don't understand, like, why people don't understand that these guys are supposed to be characters. They're not supposed to just be like normal average Joes. Like Stone Cold was larger than life. Yeah, he kind of had a character. He had a character that people could relate to, but he took it to a level that was larger than life, you know? And then you have The Rock, who represented the like rich corporate 1% with his Gucci suits and whatever he was wearing, you know, and he took it to even another level past that. You can have a character that's relatable to people, but still make it larger than other people. Like Stone Cold is the perfect example of that. A beer drinking redneck, but he was so much larger than that at the same time. It's really not that hard of a concept.
And Jake, I just thought of this today, and it's something you said a very long time ago. But you just said like when we were doing a hangout one time, just before a video or whatever, maybe after a video, and you said, "Hey, let's go through the roster and tell me what this guy's character is."
Oh,
and then
I remember that, because what I said was, describe to me who they are without telling me anything that their character does. Describe to me their characteristics without telling me what they do, though.
Yeah. So if you look at the wrestlers today, can you do that with like anyone?
I don't know. I think Wyatt's the only one that I can think of. Lesnar.
And then you said, okay, let's look at the Attitude Era. And we could literally go down to Val Venus and we would be able to, you know, talk about him.
So like that's like a challenge. It's like, you know, okay, describe who they are without spoiling anything in the plot. It's like it's a technique that writers use when they're developing characters for a movie, and it's a technique that I learned a long time ago. So it's just an old trick.
All right. So talking about Sami Zayn, he's backstage with Kurt Angle. Angle says he has been a huge asset to Raw, and I'm like, really? Like, what has he done? He hasn't won a title, but okay. There has been a lot of interest from SmackDown for Sami Zayn, and Maryse and Miz come in yelling at Kurt Angle, and then Miz says, you know, grown-ups are talking, Sami. Grown-ups are talking. And Angle says, you're going to have to earn your respect, Miz. You're going to have to face Sami Zayn tonight. First off, The Miz is a former WWE champion who beat John Cena at WrestleMania. I don't think he needs to prove anything. But anyways, he's going to have to face Sami Zayn later tonight. So Angle, again, is the make-a-match guy. We'll see later. Then we have New Day with Kofi. New Day with Kofi, the Kofi figure. So Kofi is injured right now. So they have like this Kofi like blow-up doll sort of thing on a stick. And it's kind of funny, but not really. And then Big E says, you know, this is not actually Kofi, but we brought him along. And Xavier says his spirit is inside this doll. And New Day calls out the Revival to come out because of what happened last week. And they say, let's get this work, Revival. So the announcers are trying to put over the Revival the best they can, but no casual fan knows anything about the Revival besides their guys with, I think it's red trunks, I think.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Their guy with red trunks with bald heads. I mean, if you know them from the NXT, which we do, they're cool in NXT. They're great, like in-ring wrestlers. They have that down to, you know, they put on great matches. Don't get me wrong. But what's their character? What's their purpose? Why are they here? Why are they attacking the New Day? So many questions unanswered. And back to that point that we just talked about, with Jake, what are their characteristics? You know, what are they about? We know nothing. We never got any vignettes. We never got anything to tell us what they are. And for me, no casual or TV fan is going to care about the Revival until we get that stuff. They could come out and put on a 5-star match, but like Dylan's grandma says, without any backstory, that 5-star match doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
So,
I remember when you told me that.
all right.
5 stars. I really question this because I like the Revival, right? And then I was on Instagram and I'm seeing people, oh, wow, the Revival are going to get over. And I'm like, so what's the character? How do they get over with nobody? Well, they're top guys. They can't be top guys. They can't be top guys if they have no character. That's retarded.
Dylan, I will never forget that video because you said you told your grandma about this 5-star match and she said, why does that matter? What's the reason for it? And you said, this is a lady who doesn't even watch wrestling. She's like 80 years old or whatever you said, whatever her age is. You said something to the effect of that.
It was great. But this makes me so irritated. Like,
it does because I like the Revival.
They're good.
The creative needs to give you something. This isn't the wrestlers' fault. We're not blaming the wrestlers. We're blaming the creative. We're blaming Vince all the way to the bottom writer. Give him something.
The only person that's personal against is Sami Zayn. All the other ones are all right.
Everybody's okay. Just
no, Jake. There are a couple like out there that I just don't appreciate in terms of they haven't put in the work to me. They don't look like a wrestler to me. You know, Kevin Owens to be another.
But Shinsuke Nakamura is the new Stone Cold Steve Austin. Mitchell.
No comment.
No comment. Oh, dude, guys.
Don't trust me there.
That's not me actually saying that. That's an old Bottom Line View inside joke that some idiot said some long time ago, and we make fun of him to this day. Yes. We good to move on because I don't really have anything to add to this.
All right. So New Day loses again. Revival has beat them twice in a row. So New Day has now become a jobber. All right, let's continue on. Neville has an interview. Charlie Caruso is there, so thumbs up. Neville says that Aries is not on his level, and he proved that at WrestleMania. Then TJ Perkins comes in for some reason, a.k.a. Ash Ketchum. And he comes in and he comes up to Neville and he says, be careful what you say, Neville. Because, you know, if you, it's just like terrible. Like, I don't even know what to say. And it went on for like 10 minutes. Like, it was way too long. So TJ Perkins comes up, he talks to Neville. He's like, be careful what you say. And then Neville says, take a long look in the mirror at yourself. Your career is a joke, Ash Ketchum. Like, you're not catching any Pokemon anymore. You got to go back to the drawing board. So basically what they're teasing is a TJ Perkins heel turn. Aries comes up and he's eating a banana for some reason. I don't know why. And it took way, way too long. It was like 10 minutes, a 10-minute long interview. Charlie Caruso looked hot but confused, and I just don't understand what happened there. The Cruiserweights continue to suck, to be honest with you.
Well, in this segment, my TV crashed for a good 3 minutes. And by the time it ended, these guys were still talking. Like, shit. It was really fucking long, and it served no purpose. I don't need TJ Perkins in a back and forth with Neville and Austin Aries, who are fantastic. This Cruiserweight division can we please stop it? Because it's really...
I have a question for you, Dylan. Yeah. Do you think that TJ Perkins could actually get over as a heel, or do you just think he's done? Like, he can't do it. He's just too bland.
He's too bland. He is one of the most bland people I've ever met I haven't met him, but seen in my entire life. Like, there's no character to him. And even if you give him this heel persona, it's not going to change him, in my opinion. Like, Neville looks like he could be a badass that could kick your ass. What is Ash Ketchum going to do to me?
He's going to catch you with a legendary ball.
I'll throw the ball back in his face. Like, he's not going to beat me in anything. Maybe in a game of backgammon, but he ain't going to beat me in wrestling.
All right.
Terrible.
Okay, let's continue on to the biggest accusation that Raw has ever had. That is Curt Hawkins. So you better face the fact, because on Monday Night Raw, Curt Hawkins is back. This was one of the worst, most pointless segments of all time. So I want to see if Jake can guess what happens. Okay, Jake. So I'll just say the entrance song, and you can guess what happens in the segment. Well, it's the Big Show.
Oh my God, they're doing squash matches with the Big Show still.
Can you guess? No, guess exactly what happens here.
But wait, wasn't Big Show supposed to retire?
No, he's back. He's better than ever. He looks like a beast now.
He actually looks good.
He's shredded like 50 pounds.
He just came out and just choked. Like, let me guess, Hawkins was in the ring and Show just came out and just choked them. It wasn't even a match.
Very close. Pretty close.
It was a world's, what was it? The WMD. And then he left. It wasn't.
Oh, okay. It was the knockout. I forgot about the knockout punch.
Yeah, so he came out, classic Big Show knockout punch. I knew it was going to happen as soon as the music hit. Like, we've seen this like 473 times. Like, honestly.
I know. It's like anytime there's some midget in the ring, they just send out a fat guy to knock him out.
Here's the problem. This doesn't accomplish anything. Like,
okay, let me ask this question. How does this get Kurt Hawkins over?
It doesn't.
What does Big Show need to accomplish from this?
Exactly.
Like, Big Show looks so frustrated doing it too. He's just like, oh fuck again.
He's like, why? What is
this is a dude who literally worked with Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker, and now they're fucking making him. I don't.
Jake, you missed one of the best segments, right? So Fastlane came around, and Big Show squashed Rusev. He just destroyed him on pay-per-view in an unadvertised match.
Well, they do squash matches in the main event now with fucking Goldberg beating people in like 10 and a half seconds. So
yeah, but that's Goldberg. That's his shtick.
This is Big Show and Kurt Hawkins and fuck.
So is Rusev just beyond buried at this point?
He's not even around. He's hurt right now.
Oh, okay.
I came up with the absolute 100% bulletproof logic that the reason why Rusev is buried is because everybody wants Lana and they're jealous.
He saw that was going to happen.
It's bulletproof.
All right. Let's continue on until into the match that everybody wanted to see. It's TJ Perkins versus Austin Aries.
Oh.
I literally have right here, who gives a crap? Then they're going for this. No one respects Perkins. I don't think anybody respected him ever. Like, I don't mind trying to turn a guy to heel to face just to see what happens. But first off, it's so far gone. Nobody cares. And then second, he still has no character. You know, he's bland. Like, he has no personality too. So it's not like he's going to take that and run with it like Neville did. Neville has done it all on his own, bro. Nobody, like, Perkins just sucks.
Dude, I see potential in him. He is a good guy. Like, he is a good kid. I've seen him work before, but he just needs something to sink his teeth into. Like, he's one of those guys that if you give him something to sink his teeth into, he's going to knock it out of the fucking park. But if they don't give him anything, he's going to fucking suck, and that's what it sounds like. Like, when he was Manic in TNA, which was like Suicide's remake character, he was the fucking man, and he knocked it out of the park. And I just think he's one of those guys he just needs something to sink his teeth into.
Well, and I've watched him before too, and especially when he started their Cruiserweight Classic. But when it comes to him being himself, he's just bland, and it really hurts him a lot. So
because like you have some people like the Miz, you can give the Miz anything, and Miz is gonna make it work. You know, some people just need a little bit more protection, and I don't think they know how to show his good side, and I think that they're just hurting him. And
that's exactly right, Jake, because the only people that are over nowadays are the people that can do it by themselves.
And look, there's nothing wrong with people that need that, you know.
No, not at all, because it's on the creative to do it.
Yeah. I mean, so, like, they need to release him just for his sake, because it's doing nothing but hurting him on TV.
Stop the Cruiserweight division. That would help a lot. Mitch the Potted Plant has more of a character.
Where did you get that?
It was in one of these Loot Crate boxes.
Did you buy it for $100 off a guy at WrestleMania?
$101.
Okay, let's stop this Raw review and let's visit
God.
The stupidity of Dylan. All right.
No.
Let's visit this. All right. Okay. So what did you buy for $100 at WrestleMania, and then you could almost not bring it on the plane? What happened?
We're gonna stop the review for this. Okay. So I was at WrestleMania last week, 8 days ago, and I wanted to get this commemorative chair that they always have, or around ringside. I'm a persistent guy. I wanted this chair, so I got it. And these people at American Airlines just wouldn't let me fucking have this thing on the plane. It took forever to get it.
They thought it was a bomb, didn't they?
They thought it was a bomb. By the way, this was at 4:45 in the morning, so that didn't help factors. But yeah, they said they were going to ship it. Still not at the house, but whatever. Yeah, so we stopped a review for that.
So you're still waiting for your Loot Crate box?
Well, it's not the box; it's the chair. But yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that Jake Gunn repping a Kansas City Chiefs hat?
Whoa.
Yeah. When does Jake Gunn not rep a Kansas City Chiefs hat?
Is that a new limited edition one?
Oh no, I've had this one. It's called the
New
Rogue
limited edition.
It's called the Rogue hat. It's one of my favorite styles. I actually like it. I actually have Mitch, you will be proud of me. Today was the first day in my entire high school career I did not wear a hat.
Whoa.
Wow. That's crazy. That blew my mind.
Mitch can't even
5
believe it. Like, look at this. Look at this freaking mess right here. Like, I can't even run my fingers through it. It just gets caught in knots and shit. And I love the hair, though. I love the hair.
Yeah. Speaking of a guy that loves his hair, Seth Rollins. All right. We got to talk about the fate of Seth Rollins. So they were doing a little bit of build up to see where Seth Rollins was going to go. And really the only people that would understand this is the people that were are constantly on Twitter, constantly checking dirt sheets, which I don't do. I try not to do. I follow sources on Twitter, and if I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. I won't go out of my way to read dirt sheets because I'm not like that. But the only people that would understand the fate of Seth Rollins are people that do that, because nobody would really consider Seth Rollins going anywhere unless they read those things. So Rollins says that he physically was beat up at WrestleMania. Triple H and him had a crazy match, but he's mentally at peace now because he won and because he did it. And then he says, we did it. We slayed the King of Kings. Kind of got a little cheesy there, but Rollins is the face. He's doing his face thing. Rollins says that he got some things to do on Raw still. He wants to stay on Raw. He has a problem with Samoa Joe. He's got to get back at him for that. He wants to go win that Universal Championship that he's never won. So he's still got a lot of opportunities, but he might not get those opportunities because of what happened with Stephanie McMahon and her going through a table. Rollins says that. Yeah, did you hear about that?
What happened there? No.
So during the Triple H and Rollins match, the end of the match was basically Triple H accidentally hit Stephanie off the ropes, and she went through a table. And that's why she's off the show. And then, boom, Rollins hit the pedigree and won.
Oh, okay. And isn't Finn Balor back now?
Yes, he is. We'll get into him in just a minute.
And my question was, is he doing anything to Rollins?
They had a tag match last week, but no.
Okay, I'll talk about it when we talk about Balor then.
Okay.
All right. Rollins says it would be easier to go to SmackDown Live, but I took the easy way out once before, and I'll not do that again. You're going to need an army to drag me out of here, Stephanie. If you want me to leave Raw, you're going to need to drag me out of here. I'm not leaving without a fight. So out comes Kurt Angle. Angle says that he's seen something in Seth that he really respects and that he's never seen before, and that's that the one-legged man who won an ass-kicking contest, and that's the first guy to ever do that. He says, my show forever, when I am general manager, will have Seth freaking Rollins on it as long as he is GM, and he says that Seth Rollins will always have a home here on Monday Night Raw. Samoa Joe then attacks Rollins kind of out of nowhere, which I was like, finally something cool happened. So Samoa Joe finally attacks Rollins. Rollins counters. Angle is still in the ring. while this is happening. I don't know why.
He's
And
very
then,
awkward. He's like,
yeah, he was just kind of standing there like that. And basically what this is doing is setting up the next feud for Rollins. He got past Triple H. Now they're kind of setting up the next thing for him to do, which is Samoa Joe and take on Samoa Joe. So finally Samoa Joe is going to be utilized since coming to the roster. My thing here is I don't understand why like they can never book the heel to go over. Like I don't understand this. Like why is Rollins or the face always getting over in the segment? Like it rarely happens unless it's like Triple H, you know?
Like if you're gonna have Rollins win the match, Joe should be having more of the wins in the segment.
Yeah, because Joe doesn't have anything. You know, Joe hasn't won a match. Joe hasn't done anything since coming on the roster other than taking out Seth and injuring him. You know, we need that heat on Joe for us to care about this feud going forward. We don't need Rollins to win this little segment here. That's just my opinion.
The amount of times we've seen Joe on television, like what has he done other than that one segment the very first week? It's been like, oh, so we have a feud with Sami Zayn, but who the fuck cares about Sami Zayn? And then like pointless matches that don't matter, and then segments where he's involved with Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho will get the edge on Joe. Like, why?
That's my point. The desired outcome should be that you want Rollins to get his get back on Joe, but that's the point of the pay-per-view, is for him to get his get back. So Joe should have the advantage going in. And I know the pay-per-view is a few weeks away still, but that's still like the point of the build-up. But they don't understand that. And for the record, Dylan, Mitch, do you guys, back in 2006, if I would have told you there's Samoa Joe, there's Kurt Angle in a TNA ring together, in 11 years they're going to be in a WWE ring together, you would have said, Jake, you're fucking retarded.
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you that. Hey, 5 years ago.
And Seth Rollins.
All three guys 5 years ago were nowhere near the company. And look at them now.
Like, if you would have told me that 2 years ago, I would have said you were stupid.
Yeah.
I probably would have said you were stupid in 2 years ago, like instead of six, like in 06. 06, I would have been like, okay, you know, Angle still has a lot of years left.
Well, actually, Angle was still,
But like 2 years ago, I would have been like, no, that's not going to happen.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just it's crazy. Like we needed to have Christian and Tom Co and AJ in the ring just to make a slap in the face.
Christian, legend.
Then Bobby Roode just should have done a run-in for no reason.
Oh, that would have been glorious. This segment, I like this segment. Other than that Joe didn't get the heat at the end, I still thought it was pretty good. Seth Rollins, you know, talking about what he's done. He's got past his biggest problem in Triple H. At times you're like, whatever, it's getting a little slow. But then Angle, you know, he's like, look, I need Seth Rollins on the show. He's the man, the Kingslayer, and I need him on my show because it's best for business. So I like that aspect, and it's probably the first segment Angle's done where it's not either comedy or making matchmaker. It makes sense.
Was this the beginning of the feud for them?
Yeah.
They've hinted some things.
Well,
like they've had a couple of segments.
no, because actually Samoa Joe is the guy that injured Rollins before WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but this is like the first big step besides that, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then Joe definitely should have got the upper hand for sure.
Yep. And especially since he tapped him from behind. Yeah, I was like, But still thought it was an enjoyable segment. I am looking forward to this feud because I like both guys. And I'm interested to see, you know, this is Samoa Joe's first big feud on the main roster. So I'm excited for that.
The Great Fitty Trent says, it's the Great Jake.
Trent, hit me up, bro. I love you.
Kevin says, I was really hoping Angle would get involved. Arian says
he can't. His neck's fucked up.
Yeah. Arian says, I like Joe. They need to give him a killer character. Kev says, AJ Styles. AJ was Mr. TNA. All right.
Yep. Dude, Dylan, do you remember in 2009 when Joe interrogated Scott Steiner with a machete?
Yeah. It's such stupid segments. Oh, he's got like a freaking tattoo on the side
He's
of
got
his
a machete. He's holding Scott Steiner up against the
Scott Steiner's the GOAT. Scott Steiner is the greatest at math I've ever seen.
Okay, yeah, guys, please, in your free time, you have to look up the Scott Steiner probability promo.
The Scott Steiner promo. If you put my odds, it's say 33.2. Oh god, it's fantastic.
He does like a fucking
2.23%.
quadratic equation that makes no sense at all.
I have a 108% chance of winning. Like what?
I have 108%.
What the fuck? Next segment.
Steiner, I love you. All right.
Scott Steiner, he also once wrestled with a pogo stick, 5-star.
Oh my god, the Jeff Jarrett pogo stick, yes.
And then he once called Samoa Joe fat in one of the best promos ever. So he's great.
Speaking of fat,
Kevin Owens.
we have the fat face of America, Kevin Owens.
Yay!
He calls himself the face of America. He says, "Go ask Jericho how the shakeup is doing."
He would be the face of an overweight America. Yeah.
Owens tells Ambrose to remember his place. He is the real champion. He is the premier champion of Raw. And he says, because this is the Kevin Owens show. So, yeah. Any comments on that?
It was a decent promo. Nah. I mean,
The only thoughts I have on that is the words here that he said. He said, "I am the premier champion of Raw." It almost makes me think that they're going to, and this is a crazy theory that I shot in the DMs. But what if they had the WWE title, because Bray is coming, which I don't think we've got there yet, but Bray is coming to Raw, and he's going to face Orton at Payback, which is a Raw pay-per-view. What if he wins that match in his style of match, by the way, House of Horrors, which he created, Jake. And he takes that championship to Raw. They have both the big titles on Raw. I know this is crazy. But then they take the United States title to SmackDown with Kevin Owens, and then it could really be the premier championship on SmackDown.
So you want one title on SmackDown?
Because one title is not because technically Brock Lesnar is not there.
Still, unless if
it's crazy, I know it's not.
The only way I would say that would work for me is if the Universal title also goes to SmackDown. That's just how I feel. Because I mean, if you're in the same way of Lesnar's not going to be there for as long, then Owens can carry the show, and then when Lesnar appears,
okay, that's fair enough.
So.
But then they wouldn't have then they would really have to wait all the way till WrestleMania for Reigns Lesnar.
Yeah. That's a good thing, actually.
All right. Okay, so we have Charlotte versus Nia Jax. Nia wins.
5 stars. Tell you
No
what.
comment.
Was it another squash match? Are they still doing squash matches with Nia Jax?
No, this was competitive.
No, this was a competitive. It was Charlotte, so I hope it wasn't a squash match.
I didn't even notice that you said Charlotte. I just heard
exactly.
Nia Jax
Charlotte
and
lost to
something
Nia,
like
which
that.
is pretty crazy. Charlotte, I guess, is going to SmackDown. They've continued to bring up that she is on a losing streak, so it sounds like she's going to be on SmackDown, considering that we'll see Alexa Bliss and Mickie James in a little bit. We then have Finn Balor with a sort of a vignette, sort of a video package. It was just kind of regular Finn Balor in like a sit-down interview talking about his connection with the fans. At least it was something. Again, I know Jake will say this, wish it was the Demon. And I met him at Access with Dylan, with Mike, with Brett, and I said, bro, I was expecting the Demon. I said that to him.
He laughed at
What'd he
that.
say?
He's like, oh, come on, man. And then he started laughing. So,
Okay, so this is actually from a documentary that they're putting on the network. So you could say this is lazy because it's just from their archive.
they're super lazy. I didn't even see a pre-tape on this entire show.
Well, this whole show is lazy compared to, Superstar Shakeup. Well, if you just show on Raw, you're on Raw. Well, I don't fucking know. But yeah.
Bro, I watched freaking Raw from, what was the date?
It was April 25th, 1998. Is that what it was?
No, it was 98. It was June something. I'm already at June.
Oh, you're already at June. Holy snake.
I'm at, yeah. Let me see here. July 6th.
Oh.
Right. Wait, no, it was the June 29th. June 29th, 1998. Right? The main event. It's freaking Stone Cold versus Kane for the WWF title. That's a great match, by the way. You guys should check that out.
No, it wasn't because Kane's not a good wrestler because Kane can't do an arm drag.
He can't do a quick.
It was a great match, Jake. Great match. And they had oh my God, great show. Check that out. Check out our My Attitude Era reviews. They're coming back on Easter.
Whoa.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Easter.
Everyone
the
knows
first
Kane's my
episode
favorite.
is the one where DX invades WCW, and Paul Bearer tells Undertaker that Kane is his son.
I remember that segment. That was a really good segment.
All right. So we have that Finn Balor thing, and we have Finn Balor versus Jinder Mahal.
Now, Jake, you have not been around since Jinder came back, correct?
No, I was around the first few weeks because he just came out one night, attacked someone, and said, "I am Jinder Mahal," and then left. This
man has gotten roided to the gills. Like, he is huge. Search a picture of him right now. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Well, if he had a name for every gender that there was, haha, see what I did there? All right, anyway.
5 stars.
Jesus Christ. Dude, what the fuck? Lay off this.
You got it.
So
huge.
Finn beats Mahal in a quick match. Didn't care for it.
Dude, he's a jobber, but he's like the size of Cena.
I know, that's what I mean. He's like, Finn is literally the same size as me. If you saw the photo, on Instagram, you could check it out. I'm the same size as Finn.
Dude, freaking Jinder Mahal is roided to the freaking eyeballs, and he's a freaking jobber. Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, I fucking love it.
Oh God. But we had an interesting segment after the match.
Yes, we did. So, first off, I just can't get over how plain Finn looks. And I like the guy. I think he has talent, but he just looks so plain. He's wearing the black tights with the little armband, and he's doing the "way" thing, and he doesn't have he doesn't have anything. He has the jacket, he takes it off, and then he's just like a regular cruiserweight looking dude. How are you
here, hold on. Let me show you what.
That Finn Balor is going to beat up Braun Strowman.
Not a chance.
Let me show you what Finn Balor's character is when he's not the demon. It's just literally this over and over and over again. Just Sports Center, motherfucker.
Hey, so you got like the hair kind of going with you. You know, you got the same skin as Finn Balor, so you're 2 for 2 right there.
The size of him too.
Yeah, there you go. 3 for 3. Perfect. You're Finn Balor. You're just not demon Finn Balor.
Dude, part of me wants to rewrite this show, but I don't know anything about what's been going on. But I guarantee you, I could still write something better than what they fucking did.
Maybe we should have a exclusive bottom line view rewrite.
Exclusive.
An exclusive rewrite.
Okay, so after this, we have Bray Wyatt, who appears, does that crazy intro thing. And then Bray Wyatt appears, and he says that wherever I go, darkness finds me. This is my new home now.
Huh?
I didn't come to Raw empty-handed. I came to Raw with payback. WWE will watch me torture Randy Orton in a House of Horrors match. Finn, I would watch yourself, friend. I will certainly be watching you. Monday Night Raw, I'm here. So that's Bray Wyatt, classic promo from him. Very good. I'm really excited for the House of Horrors match. I'm really excited to see what the hell it is because I have no idea what it is. So I'm pumped. Any thoughts on that quick little segment there, guys?
I'm very confused.
Yeah, I didn't.
Very, very, very confused. Okay, so Bray comes on Raw, and he's in a feud on SmackDown, talks about a WWE Championship match on a Raw exclusive pay-per-view when the WWE Champion is from SmackDown. Randy did not move to SmackDown, so that's key. And then Finn gets in the end of this. I really like both the House of Horrors match that they're going to do and the supposed Bray Wyatt Finn Balor feud. If Finn Balor's the Demon King and they have him and Bray Wyatt, the shit would be legendary. I don't get why we're mixing both of these at the same time. Why is the WWE Championship on Raw when Randy's not on Raw? You know what I mean? It's confusing. But I still like what they're doing with both of these segments, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
You know, House of Horrors match. That's also the name of the Godfather's specialty match. But
Godfather.
look forward to it. I hope it's not just some like no disqualification match that's like nothing special. I hope they actually have some sort of like setup.
Yeah. Or I hope that it's like some sort of like mix between a match and the effects.
Yeah.
You know?
It'll be total nonstop deletion, just WWE style, somewhere to that degree. Hopefully.
Okay. Kevin says I totally disagree with Finn Balor. I think he has massive potential. I never said he doesn't.
He just doesn't look like a guy like
he just doesn't. They haven't given him anything, and he doesn't like. How can I put this? He just looks plain. Like he's my height. He's like 5'11". He's like 200 pounds, if that, and he's like, you know, just a guy with black underwear. He doesn't stick out. Like he doesn't look like a star. You need to like if he was the Demon, I'd 100% agree with you. He looks different. That we've never seen that before in WWE. You could do so many different things with that character. You know, different avenues to go. But just him as Finn Balor, you need to give me something else. He's a cruiserweight, you know, weight and height. And you want to put him in the main event versus guys like Reigns, Strowman, Lesnar. Like the fans last week were chanting Finn Balor when Lesnar was in the ring. Are you freaking kidding me, guys? Like seriously, come on.
Oh, and the thing I want to talk about was why I think that they missed out on an opportunity. Like Seth Rollins is the reason that Finn got injured. So like, that's your story. Why not run with it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's your perfect excuse to permanently turn him to the Demon too. Because like you injured me, so now I'm just gonna be the fucking Demon 24/7.
And Mike's a huge fan of Finn. He's his favorite wrestler, and he always says to me the reason why he's not the Demon 24/7 is that it takes too much time to paint him. And I was like,
that's a crappy excuse.
That's a crappy excuse. That's the exact excuse that WWE makes for every single thing they do. They're just lazy. They don't do, they don't do the pre-shoots. They don't go through like week by week every segment to make sure every guy has a character, every guy has a storyline. It's just super lazy. Everything
They don't do anything on location. They do everything at the arena because of how lazy they are. They won't go outside the arena. It's just, and again, we're not trying to be negative. It's just true.
Yeah.
We like Balor.
Guys, seriously, I know, like, seriously, I think that a lot of people that really like the product today are people that never saw the product when it was good and when it was at the peak of the product. Like, I'm watching, it's weird because I'm watching like 98 Raws while I'm watching this at the same time. And the difference is astronomical. Like, go back to the Attitude Era, go back to 80s WrestleMania era, go back to WCW in the 90s. Like, these shows were so much handled with so much more care and detail. It's just crazy to me. They've not gone forward. They've not evolved. They've only gone backward to me.
Yeah, what he said.
Arian says that Lesnar takes bigger shits than Balor.
I love this guy.
Okay. The Miz versus Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn wins with the surprise roll-up and never hits him with the Uber driver.
Never hit him with the Uber driver.
I want the Uber driver to be a finisher. So is this a feud? I don't know. Who cares? Miz deserves better. And by the way, I want to reference this. So Cole keeps saying at the end of this match, well, the Miz had a rough first night on his first night on Monday Night Raw. It's not like he's never been on the TV show before. Just the way he referenced it sounded like he's never been on Raw in his entire life. Like he didn't cash in a Money in the Bank for a WWE title there. I don't know. Just saying.
Okay. Kevin says, but honestly, size doesn't matter to me. I'm 6'3", 225. I don't have the big guy thing. It's not that. Like, if Finn faced Rollins, I'm cool with that. It's like MMA and boxing. They have weight classes, so it's more realistic. It's like in WWE, I know it's fake, obviously, But if you want to make it look real and feel real, you can't be having guys Balor-sized face Brock Lesnar. Like, in what world would, let's say, McGregor beat Brock Lesnar? Like, it's just not going to happen.
Let me give you an example of this actually happening. So, SummerSlam 2013, CM Punk faced Brock Lesnar. CM Punk, this is funny because now they're both in UFC, or at one point in UFC, but CM Punk will legitimately never beat a guy like Brock Lesnar. So what they do, they made it a hardcore match to make it look realistic. That's the only possible way a guy like CM Punk, who is not that tall and he's not that big, face a guy like Brock Lesnar. Finn Balor, who's Mitch's height, probably 6 foot and 200 pounds, is not going to legitimately face a guy who's 290, according to WWE, and 6'5". This is not going to happen. It's impossible.
It's just like, trying to make the fight feel real. That's all I'm saying.
Look, let's just be honest. Here at the Bottom Line View, we're just like big, sweaty dudes who take steroids. That's all we do. We just sit around and fanboy over bodybuilders.
But Jake, do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we just love bodybuilders over here. That's what gets us off. We just watch bodybuilding competitions.
I mean, it's not about the bodybuilding. It's about realism. All right? That's what it's about.
We met Hulk Hogan, brother. You know, he was on the he was a big muscly guy before anybody else was, you know.
Oh, I'm so pissed off that you met Hogan. You don't even know.
Donnell Clemens says that fight would happen in Pride.
Dude, don't shit on Pride fighting. Pride fighting, that was my shit back in the day.
He says, I'm old school.
It's also like Rey Mysterio fighting the Great Khali. It's just
I'm that one dude who actually liked Pride fighting and was like heartbroken that UFC merged.
All right,
bought, whatever.
Dylan, do you want to describe this next segment? It's the Roman Reigns interview.
Oh, 5 stars. Okay.
Oh, hold up. I had a question about Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Did he really sit in the ring for 10 minutes and only say one word?
Yes. And it was the most interesting segment in 10 years.
It was a great segment.
So he literally just walked around for 10 minutes?
No, he went like this, like with the mic, he would be like,
and the crowd would boo the shit out of
him.
him.
Boo the shit. They'd be like, fuck you, Reigns. Fuck you, or whatever, you know?
And then he literally just said, this is my yard, and that's the only thing he said in the entire segment.
Yeah, and it was the most interesting segment I've seen in 10 years.
Okay.
That is fucking awesome.
It was great. So this segment, Michael Cole backstage with Roman Reigns, okay? So Michael Cole, he's talking to Roman Reigns. He's like, what do you think about The Undertaker? How do you feel after beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania? And he's like, well, I don't feel good about it, but this is what I do. I am the top dog. This is what I have to do, and I am the best. And it seems like it's going to be a long interview. And then, holy shit, Braun Strowman just destroys Roman Reigns. It was great because he would attack him. You think, oh, it's going to be over. It's going to be over. And then, he threw him over through a table. He rammed him into, one of these carts. He actually got a cart and rammed it into Roman Reigns, who was on a wall. That was great. Then it looks like it's going to be stopped again. Roman Reigns gets put on a stretcher. It's still not going to end. Freaking Braun Strowman throws him off a ledge and lets him fall to the ground. 5 stars. And then they're putting him on the ambulance, and you're like, all right, it's got to be over. No, this man fucking flipped an ambulance and made him fall, tip over the ambulance car. It was a great segment. It put over Braun, Braun versus Roman's money, because both
Reigns is the biggest heel since 03 Triple H.
Bro, 03 Triple H. That's great Triple H. Just how big Braun Strowman was, and I knew that was painful to push that truck or that ambulance truck over, but that was awesome. Just seeing Braun act like a badass, that was money. And
did you forget the part where he kept shoving those things into Reigns? He kept shoving I don't know what they're called.
That does not sound right.
The containers.
Yeah, the carts. I call them.
Yeah, carts. Okay.
Equipment vehicles. That was great. Honestly, people that thought Braun wasn't going to be good when he came in, what are you thinking, man? He's gotten so much better since that point, and you're like, this man can make money. It's great. It's great. I forgot we also like big sweaty dudes, according to here.
Jake, any thoughts on that?
Didn't Braun attack Lesnar last week too?
No, they had
he pussied out.
Yeah, he pussied.
Okay, so they're gonna go for. So Lesnar wasn't on the show at all tonight because they're not smart enough to try to do a pre-tape or something with Lesnar to get him more appearances without having to. I've talked about that a million times. You guys know my take on that. So Braun and Roman are gonna feud. Should be interesting. Wait, they feuded already?
Yes, they did this before Fastlane. That's what they did then.
Oh.
But they're restarting it back up again.
I don't know. I like this segment. I love this segment. Actually,
I love the segment.
That segment on the show. The more people hate Reigns, I was never a huge Reigns fan. I always kind of was in the middle with him. I never hated him at all. I just never really he never really had he still doesn't have a great personality on the mic. And that's why a lot of people don't like him. I still don't understand why people say he can't put on a good match because that's just not true.
That's a damn lie.
That's lie. And he wrestles a really cool style to me. It feels like a Goldberg, type of match, like a Lesnar type of match, like a real kind of fight, which I like about Reigns. And the thing is, the more people hate him, the more these marks start saying "fuck you, Roman," the more I like him. It's just hilarious. Because he does the smirks when he's talking and everything. It's just so hilarious to me how people continue to hate on him while it's just hilarious.
Can I talk about how stupid these people are for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead. I made a rant on it. I don't even need to talk about it anymore.
Because people don't understand. I think it's so stupid that people go, "Oh, I hate WWE so much. I disagree with what they're doing so much. I'm going to buy money and go to their show and boo, and yeah, that'll show them." No, they just got you because they just got your money, you fucking dipshit. And not only that, you're falling right into their hands. When Roman is sitting there and laughing at you while you're saying "fuck you, Roman," he's already won.
That was such a beautifully planned segment, Jake, because they went in there. They knew he was going to get booed so heavily, so he didn't talk on the mic. They let him. It's the night after Mania, so they let everybody chant, and they were all just "fuck you, Roman," "you still suck," all this stuff.
They don't even realize they're playing right into WWE's hand. They don't even realize it.
Can I give you guys breaking news? WWE breaking news. I know Mitch will hate and love this at the same time. Byron Saxton is moving to SmackDown Live. I don't have to hear this man.
Fuck. Well, one positive. I don't have to hear him for another hour. So we cut 1 hour of TV time from Byron Saxton.
5 stars.
Where is he? Thank you, producer.
Does this mean that JBL goes over to Raw?
Maybe, because he's actually been really good. Even though, I will say this, JBL as a person, from all accounts, is a fucking dickbag. That's all I'll say.
He's a terrible human being.
I've heard numerous people say that he's the biggest bully in wrestling.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
It pushed Morrow out of the company, so that's terrible. But
how much more of this show do we have? Goddamn, 3 hours.
We still have another hour, Jake.
No, okay. Yeah, but we only have 4 more segments.
Okay.
And they're not that interesting. So
most of Raw, basically.
Club and the Shining Stars face Hardys.
Shining Stars.
Yes, the Shining.
Hardys and Cesaro and Sheamus. The only reason to pay attention to this is because the Hardys are in there. They win with the Twist of Fate and Swanton Bomb. This was stupid because they had Cesaro and Sheamus at the end of the match. No heat. They're facing each other for the titles at Payback. Doesn't matter. Hardys are there. They won the match. Cesaro and Sheamus celebrating with them. Doesn't matter. No heat whatsoever. They don't care about each other. They're just going to go in there. They're best friends. They're going to go wrestle at Payback. Who cares?
Well, my problem with this is, okay, we haven't gotten a single promo since the Hardy Boys returned, which would be okay, except we need something to get us back into it other than the fact that, hey, the Hardy Boys are back. Delete, okay? Sheamus and Cesaro. No do chance, which was really depressing because that's what got him over last week.
That's true.
And yeah.
What was the chant?
It was Sheamus and Cesaro. Do. It was really
Sheamus and Cesaro. Do 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 do.
Jake has no idea what we're talking about, but it was fun.
You guys sound like you're on like crack or something, right?
Yeah,
now.
that's exactly what we got from the British fans last week.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got a bunch of different chants last week.
Okay, let's be honest. That's all because of the fandangoing shit they did a few years ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're talking about people that sat there and were like, "Ooh, do 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 do."
That was a banger segment.
And then, Dylan, do you want to describe this epic segment between Dana Brooke and Emma?
The acting in this was 5 stars. Okay, 6 stars if you're DM himself. So this segment, we had a clever pun, if you want to call it that, where Dana's reading a book on how to become a protege or how to get a protege because she was once one. And Emma, I'm glad they brought up some backstory because Emma once was with Dana Brooke, but apparently they're supposed to go on a tag match. This didn't happen, by the way. They never showed up again. But Dana's like, you know what? I'm not with you anymore. No, this is not going to work. She's terrible. All these women actresses are terrible on Raw.
I actually thought Emma was worse.
She got a lot worse, which is how?
I mean, Emma looks good. I'm not going to lie, but she's not. She doesn't do it for me, guys. I don't know.
I mean, maybe
like in terms of a wrestler, like a talent, I understand. She looks good. It's fine, but like if you're gonna have her this is why I had a problem with her coming back as a wrestler. You don't have to be a wrestler. You could be a manager. You could be a valet. You could be something else. You could be hot chick. But to me, like she's just wasting her time being a wrestler. She's just gonna be a jobber to me. Like doesn't make any sense.
It was stupid and it was bad acting. And I'm glad one person, actually no, 2 people, came over from the SmackDown Live women's roster. We'll talk about that in a second.
So when did Dan decide that? When did Dan? Because remember I used to call her Dan. When did she decide to? When did she / he decide to stand up to Charlotte?
A while back, it was useless.
So they did this in the build-up to Mania, and then they just pushed it off and didn't do shit with it.
Wait, they didn't do this until like recently though?
It was about 5 or 6 weeks ago.
So they've been using it since like SummerSlam, and they just did it 5 weeks ago.
Arian says that Emma has a character. What is her character?
Oh, hold up. I'll show you. Let me turn my webcam on. Okay.
He has one of the worst theme songs in WWE today.
This is her character right here. This right here. Does she still do this?
Yes.
I hope not.
Oh, God. Her theme is terrible.
Oh, my God. I'm going to fucking kill myself. I'm going to go grab a knife and fucking end it right now.
You know what we have to deal with every week, bro?
Stop.
How do you do it? How do you do it, you fucking saint? Like, you know what? Let's appreciate you guys.
Namaste. I'm asking Mitch to get paid now at this point.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Sasha Banks.
I demand 50%.
I'm doing a Jeff Jarrett. This is for Mitch. I'm demanding a Jeff Jarrett right now.
Comeback.
Jake.
No. I'm gonna make 50% as a part timer, just because.
Part time. You're Brock Lesnar.
I'm doing a Jeff Jarrett. I want $500,000 per appearance. Okay.
500,000.
I'm holding them hostage.
Yeah, you're released. Okay, what? Sasha Banks promo with Bayley. Again, I don't want to even talk about this. So Sasha introduces just Bayley. Sasha stands by Bayley while she thanks the crowd. Blah 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 blah. Nobody cares. Then she says, "This is gonna sound cheesy," and I'm like, "What doesn't sound cheesy coming out of your mouth?"
This does not sound bad when you say this is gonna sound cheesy. Just scrap the sentence. Just don't say it.
Sasha says that your moment is over. That's why I'm out here to ask you for that WWE, and then you get Dana. Alexa Bliss comes out. Alexa says that she is going to take over the Raw women's division. She has arrived to Raw, and she's putting all that SmackDown Live drama behind her. She's going to do what she does best, and that's dominate. Mickie James comes out and says, guess who else has arrived on Raw? Everyone would tell you that she is the only 6-time women's champion. Mickie James is back on Raw. and she says, "Little Miss Bliss, honey, your nightmare has just begun." Nia Jax comes out, runs over Mickie James, gets in the ring.
Dangerous. Destroys her.
Gets in the ring. Bliss pushes Sasha and Bayley into Nia. Nia takes the title after she beats the crap out of both of them and holds it up. So really big show for Nia Jax. I mean, they pushed her to the moon on this show. Interesting to see what was going to go down with Sasha and Bayley. Kind of a little bit of a tease there. I'm intrigued with Sasha. I'm still a fan of her. As for Alexa, I like her as well. I'm intrigued to see what she'll do on Raw. I wasn't a fan of putting Mickie James on Raw. I thought she should have stayed on SmackDown. But it is what it is. Looks like Charlotte will be on her way to SmackDown. Maybe Emma. I'm not sure. We'll see. But Raw, again, adding some depth to their division. And I think Alexa Bliss, I've been probably, saying that Alexa Bliss has been the best performer in terms of women since the beginning of 2016. So, she's been great for this whole year. So I'm looking forward to see what they do on Raw because I know that the women are a huge part of Raw. So she'll definitely get somewhat of a push on the show.
So are Mickie and Alexa feuding?
Sort of. Because Alexa Bliss just lost the title to Naomi at WrestleMania.
Right. I knew that. But so now they're kind of okay. That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be Alexa and Becky, honestly, but whatever. Alexa is great. She's been the best woman, like Mitch said, for quite a bit. And seeing her on Raw is a good and a bad thing. I don't know where SmackDown gets the depth. I'm guessing Charlotte's going to Raw or SmackDown, so that's a bonus. But it kind of seemed like a clusterfuck in this segment because we not only had Sasha and Bayley, who I thought Sasha was going to turn on Bayley in this segment. We had Alexa, we had Mickie, and we had Nia. So a lot of shit was happening in this segment.
This was like the night before the Rumble. I will win the Rumble. No, I'm going to win the Rumble.
Yeah,
I'm going to win the Rumble.
Except take out Rumble, and I'm going to be SmackDown Women or Raw Women's Champion. I'm going to be Raw Women's Champion. It's basically that.
Yeah, it's the good old time filler.
With the overlaying factor that Nia Jax is going to beat the shit out of everybody because she's 240 pounds and way bigger than any woman on the roster.
And she really impressed us those first 8 months that she just beat the freaking person who sits on the corner. She just
total
local person that we picked up off the corner go lose to Nia Jax.
5 stars.
And she's not like most girls.
Oh God, that's one thing you've missed, Jake. We've roasted this song so many times. It's weird because apparently Sasha and Alexa have heat, which I find funny, but yeah, this is interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on. I hope Alexa becomes women's champion soon because nobody wants to see Bayley as women's champion. I guarantee you that.
There's a lot of Bayley fans out there, bro.
Yeah, apparently because she's got a fat ass and she's cute, apparently, according to some people. Although
some people are blind.
Well, I compared her to Jay Leno on the show before, and I still stand by that. So
you can go to any high school and find half the fucking girls there that are way more loaded than Bayley is. Get the fuck
90%.
Okay.
I put it at 50% because some high schools only have 100 kids in them. So
you're balancing it out. I see.
I'm gonna propose a question to you guys.
Mine has 600, but anyway, continue.
Is Kevin Owens the most overrated in-ring wrestler in the company?
Yes.
Fuck. I guess.
I put this out on Twitter. He tells no story. He's one of the worst in the business at telling a story in the
he does that super impressive
cannonball.
move.
I was literally about to
impressive. I'm gonna flip. Okay, I know.
Yeah, he's definitely overrated. He's not that good. He looks like a fucking milk driver. I was trying to think of the rest of the roster because I didn't want to say that.
Milk driver.
Most overrated. And then he's a freaking milk truck driver, dude. He and Sami Zayn should just start a transportation company together.
Everyone keeps saying Alexa has a great ass. That is true.
Alexa does have a great ass.
Zayn and Owens transportation.
So you guys want to comment on this match? I didn't care. Basically, it It was the most wrestling thing ever, where they had Jericho come out and hit a code breaker at the end of the show, and then blah, whatever.
It was an okay match.
It was boring.
It was boring. It was very anticlimactic, is the word I will say. Because you're having this Raw shakeup, and I'm like, wait, this is actually going to be the main event. The Dean Ambrose wins, cool. I'm imagining Kevin Owens is going to SmackDown with the U.S. belt, fine. Jericho, but it's weird because Jericho beat him up after the match, and they're still promoting the U.S. title for the Raw exclusive pay-per-view. So I have no clue what's going on. And Jericho hits a lame code breaker at the end to win, or to finish off the show. Very mediocre way to end the show, honestly.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I totally agree with everything these guys just said.
All right. I mean, I can't even talk about that match. It was fucking...
I didn't really watch, but I agree based off what you're saying.
It was just pointless. Like, it was same thing I've seen 1,000 times.
Let's go back and do an old school Jake Barton thing.
Jake Barton.
If you would have missed this show, what did you miss?
The crazy one segment with Reigns and Braun.
Okay, so basically you come back next week and there's a few people here who weren't there the week before, but did they do anything of importance?
No.
Bingo.
By the way, just to recap everybody, these are the people that have gone to Raw. Apollo Crews, which I find weird, they just announced like 3 people out of nowhere just are going to Raw.
Yeah, they did it on like Instagram or something earlier in the day. I saw it.
Yeah.
Like one of my friends showed it to me. I was like, okay.
Heath Slater and Rhino got announced for Raw. Kalisto, which will be a nice addition to the Cruiserweight division.
A year later, they finally do it.
Yeah, I know, right? Kurt Hawkins, who means absolutely nothing. Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, which is good. Dean Ambrose, which I think is one of the laziest wrestlers in wrestling right now. He just doesn't want to provide anything worth note. Miz and Maryse, great. Bray, great. A lot of talent going over to Raw, so I'm interested to see SmackDown gets tomorrow.
Remember when I called it on Ambrose? I called it about a year ago, and you guys thought I was fucking crazy.
What did you say?
I started becoming disenchanted with Ambrose, and now it sounds like you guys are too.
I have been for a while.
He's just been very lazy.
Ever since he lost the WWE title, I think I've been...
Yeah, probably since then.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I always say he's good at chasing the belt more than he is being champion. But
so that should just be his entire career. He just chases the belt but never wins it.
Well, like,
Delmonico, I just want to say this. Delmonico says Alexa only has mic skills. Shrugs.
What?
I'm just gonna say this. Look at her. All right, that's it.
Look at her.
Very attractive. But still, what? I mean, she can wrestle. I'm just saying. Yeah, Dean's not as good.
Well, don't get me wrong. She's definitely good at holding things in her hand and talking to them. But
I mean, if she can cut a promo, look at how many people on this roster can't cut a promo. If she has that quality over everybody else, 5 stars. That's my.
All right. That's about it. For the WWE Raw April the 10th, 2017 review. Raw shakeup. We'll see about SmackDown tomorrow. Hopefully it's a better show. Love the Reigns segment. Let's give our ratings. Producer, do you have the drum roll?
Yes, I do. You guys ready?
Yeah. Dylan, let's go first, bro.
I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 10. 3.5 out of 10. This show failed on a lot of levels because it was confusing. And for me and Mitch, who have to watch this on a regular basis, it should not be confusing. So imagine people on the casual fan, they're like, what the fuck is going on? It's like Fast and Furious at 16 times the speed. Like,
I didn't even watch and I feel depressed just sitting here.
See what I mean, bro?
He's depressed. It was so stupid. There were some good things on the show that I did like. I liked the Bray and Finn interaction. I like the Braun Roman segment was fantastic. But other than that, it also
interaction like Finn actually did anything.
The looking up of Finn on the television screen to Bray Wyatt was fascinating.
Okay.
The women, I did like Alexa and Mickie coming to Raw. That's good. A lot of the rest of the show didn't need to watch. I mean, again, If I wasn't here watching 3 hours and 15 minutes of it on TV, I would watch the 20 minutes that I needed to watch on YouTube and be satisfied. Are we doing Plug City afterwards?
Pretty much all you needed to get from the show was who's on the show now, and watch on YouTube the Reigns segment. That's it.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
that's it.
Because, like, guys, for you viewers who don't know, this is like a known thing on the Bottom Line View. When Jake would watch Raw, he'd watch it in like 25 minutes. Like, I would like fast forward all the matches.
Jake, I stayed to watch this 3 hours just because I thought it was going to be a shakeup episode, so it's going to be big. But from now on, bro, I'm watching it in 30 minutes. I'm watching it in an hour.
He's gonna do it the Jake Barton. He's gonna go to the Jake Barton way.
Yes.
It's the best way to watch it. And I would start watching at like 8:30, but I would have to still take breaks, even just watching the show in like 5-minute dosages. That's how fucking terrible this television is.
You got a rating?
I'd be like, I got 7 minutes of Raw. I need to take like a 30-minute break.
All right.
You ready, Mitch?
Yeah. First off, let's answer this question. Kevin says, before you go, I have to ask, what did everyone think about the performance of Nia Jax tonight? It really made me think she's really unsafe. I don't know. This is how I feel. I'm not a wrestler, so I can't really answer that question. If you ask like Bret Hart or somebody like that, I'm sure he'd tell you. Bret Hart's not in the chat tonight. I'm sure he'd tell you.
We'll work on that. We'll get
Bret Hart here.
Well, there is a Bret Hart that gets in that comes on the channel, Jake.
There's a Bret Hart YouTube account.
Yeah. I can't answer that question. Like, if you're looking, and plus, I didn't really watch much of the match because I was disinterested. But from what I know of Nia Jax, like from a viewer's perspective, yeah, she looks a little aggressive, but that's just because she's so much bigger than everybody else. It's kind of hard for her to work. It's kind of hard for her to work when she's not like most girls. And, you know, she's a lot heavier than everybody else. And she has to take so much care, you know, because she's so much bigger. So I don't really have an expertise on that because I'm not a wrestler and I don't have an experience in the ring. But that's as far as I can go with it. What do you guys think about that?
Well, you know, Dilly Vanilli, the wrestling album coming out in 2017. I just, you know.
He's been working on that shit for like 2 years now.
I'm still promoting. I'm on my Frank Ocean syndrome.
He's been writing it for 2 years. He's like, I'm finally hitting the studio.
Yes. Nia Jax, I mean, she's way bigger. Like Mitch said, she's huge compared to everybody else on the roster. Like, she'll just ragdoll these people. So, yeah, it looks really unsafe, and I wouldn't want to be in the ring. But like Mitch said, I'm not a wrestler.
And she's another person related to The Rock, so that's why she's as big as she is.
There you go. Mitch, can I plug, or do you still need to give your rating? Because I have a plug, very important plug.
I need to give my rating.
All right, I'll go.
You ready, Mitch?
Yeah. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Reigns and Braun, that's a point, maybe a 1.5. Really interesting stuff. Best segment I've seen on Raw in a while. Besides that, I liked some of the acquisitions, including Bray Wyatt. I think that's interesting. Bray is my favorite wrestler. So it'll be nice to see him on Raw. Miz, cool to see him on it. Alexa Bliss, cool. So I like the acquisitions part, but the rest of the show, I mean, nothing else was really worth watching. So for me, the rest of it, that's why it's a 3. I can't say this was a good show at all because a lot of it was pointless and it didn't make any sense.
Fair enough. I hate it. Plug City. It's my favorite time of the day, and I got a new series out, guys. It's a 10-part series. It's a big one. Calling it 20 by 20. Why is wrestling not cool anymore? That's just the other parts, like just added on top, but it's 20 by 20.
And Dylan, and
guess who's gonna be on it? Yes, some of your favorite personalities will be on the show on this new series, including the young guy, the producer.
Hold up. Let me get this up. Where's that? The king.
There he goes, the king himself, Jake.
Where's my goggles? Where's my goggles at? Yes.
If you guys don't remember, he's an editing.
Have you found Zack Ryder yet?
I've not.
That's an old classic from Jake. So yeah, Jake will be on it. Mitch will be on it. I'm trying to get Mitch's dad on one of these interviews. So
yes, my Canadian father, Papa Mitchell,
Yeah,
Papa Milani. I love it, Papa Milani.
Papa Mitchell. We're trying. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm doing an intro by myself, and I'm going to talk about why I became a wrestling fan, how it all became, how it all went down, how I got invested, and then talk about with multiple people why wrestling isn't cool anymore. From guys like Kevel, who were back in the 80s, they were watching that stuff in the 90s, WCW, all that stuff. Adam, who has never watched past the Attitude Era, but why he got out of wrestling after that. To guys like Jake and Mitch, who have watched wrestling for years, the last couple of years. I know Jake's taken off recently, but why, especially Jake, why he's not watching anymore. Why was it not as cool, from the first Nitro and Attitude Era stuff to now where Jack Gallagher can get over. So, guys, stay tuned.
Who?
The white cruiser. Oh, you haven't seen. Oh, I can't find it.
Dylan.
What's the UK championship or whatever? There's some pedophile looking motherfucker that.
Yeah. That's Tyler Bate. Mitch, what's up?
Dylan, Ash says he wants us to review the first ever Nitro on my birthday, September the 4th, but it's 1 year before I was born, 1995.
Ooh, that might just be coming out soon. Stay tuned for all the videos. And all that's gonna be a big.
What's with that?
It's a nod, everybody. It's a nod. Stay tuned. That's a big series that's gonna come out. I will release a trailer for it that will release the date. But for now, it's coming soon.
See, even Dylan has a vignette. All right. For me,
I have Plug City real quick.
Okay.
Because yours is gonna be serious, so like we might as well get the fucking goofy shit out.
All right. Well, they can follow you on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, go to Jake_YoungGun, follow me on Twitter. But go to Dylan's Twitter at WrestlingGod27 and look at that fucking picture he posted earlier where he's like 2 years old and his hair's all fucked up and give him shit for it. Fucking.
I'm 2 years old in this picture. It was for Siblings Day.
Hold up, I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek of this shit right here because when I saw
sneak peek.
I was looking like a thug. I tell you what.
Did you delete it? Where's it at? Oh no!
I have it pulled up right here. I'll even show it to you. Oh, there it is.
Oh, here. Hold. I should probably take the effects off so you guys can see it.
You're like showing it through that fucking mask.
Dylan's the little guy in the red.
Yeah, I'm a small G.
Young Savage, why you tripping so hard? I love it. All right.
All right. As for me, guys, we have a lot going on with the NHL playoffs. You can join if you're an NHL fan. Join our bracket. It's on NHL.com. Just search up the Bottom Line View. You can join there. The winner will be able to get on the Puck It Up podcast with myself and Fitty Trent and others. So if you win that bracket challenge, you'll be on the Puck It Up podcast. As for wrestling videos, Smackdown review tomorrow. Of course, Retro Raw Attitude Era reviews. I forgot what the date was. Was it April 25th?
Yeah.
April 25th, 1998. Again, DX invades WCW. And also, Kane is now the son of Paul Bearer.
Whoa.
That is the first episode coming out Easter this weekend. It's coming back, Raw Retro Reviews. It's been highly, highly, highly asked for. It's coming back, and I'm really excited because I've watched a ton of the shows already. I'm gonna do all the reviews and edit it up this weekend. We're gonna get out the first one this Sunday. I'm excited to see what you guys think, to actually review some good wrestling. So, that's the plugs for today for wrestling, NHL. Of course, we have NBA coming soon with the playoffs, NFL, as always, coming out, and as much as we can. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Raw review for April the 10th, 2017. It's Mitch, Dylan, and the special guest, Jake, the Young Gun. Peace out.